Hey, everybody. We have a great treat here today. Tim Winders from Seek Go Create Podcast and I, Meg, your host from Letters from Home Podcast. We're just playing around with StreamYard. So if anyone wants to leave any comments or say anything silly, we are supposed to be live on YouTube, on Letters from Home Facebook page, and on our Letters from Home podcast community. So go ahead. We're just going to chat and try and mess around with some things and figure some things out. So, how are you doing today,
Cool.
Tim?
I'm doing great. Now, I want to thank you. This is actually, I don't know that I pushed you into this, but I actually said, "Hey, Meg, I see you're using StreamYard, and I stream Facebook Live from Zoom, and it does work okay. But I really liked the way something that you did recently. I think it was your interview with Quan, because I interviewed Quan also." And I said, boy, that StreamYard, it looks really good. I wonder how it works. And so I started drilling you with questions. And I know, like only I could do. Meg was probably on Facebook, her messenger going, dang, Tim, like we haven't talked in a couple of months. And all of a sudden, bam. And I said, hey, why don't we do a test? And then earlier today, Meg said, are you going to do it? I said, no, I want to test yours. I don't have it yet.
Hey, there's two people watching, and someone just made a comment.
Yeah.
Hey, Amy. Hey, it's listing your name. Last time I did a live, it didn't listen. Amy
Oh,
is the host of Graced Health Podcast, Tim. If you ever need
yes.
someone who's into fitness, she is a dear lady I met at Spark.
What's her last name? Is she,
Amy Connell. Am I saying that
oh,
right?
no. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. That's who there was another Amy. I apologize. I was confusing her. So Grace Health. I love the name of that.
Yeah, Amy has such a beautiful view on health, and I have really enjoyed her podcast. When I get a chance to listen, it's encouraged me and definitely left some good things. So I'm right now, Tim, I'm looking, I can see the comment section. So when you host
Okay.
a live, what I see is, you see, I put the ticker tape below us.
Look at that.
I'm going to switch it now. It says coach for business owners, execs, and leaders. Hey, who's that? Okay. And now,
And then look.
so I click on, there's a whole list of comments that are called banners that you can do ahead of time. Like
Okay.
this. I can
Letters from
switch,
home.
yep, I
Okay.
can switch this. And, or if anyone wants to try out my app, look, Letters from Home now has a free app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. You can download our show and have all the episodes in one place.
So here's a question, StreamYard question. Since Amy left a comment, have
Oh,
I seen that you could add comments on that scroll or down below also? Can you pop
I
the
could.
comment
I
up?
can. Yes.
How does
So
that
Amy
work?
wrote, okay, let's see, Graced Health Podcast for women
Oh, look at
who
that.
want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate in the process. Oh, and Neil Matthews on. Hey, Neil, what's up? Okay, Amy,
Meals in the house.
I'm gonna try and take. I'll just. So what I can do is, so for lives, you can do a live banner. So I'm going back to my banners, which I know you guys who are watching, thanks for supporting. We can't see that, but I'm gonna write. I'm gonna create a new banner now, which I can do while I'm talking, and write Graced uh, Health Podcast and um, in other people's shoes podcast. Um, Go give them a listen. So I'm typing this while we're talking.
I'm actually going and subscribing while we're talking.
Hey,
I'm already on Neil, so I'm going to do this with
I'm
Amy here.
not so sure.
Graced Health.
Oh, look at that. And it actually put Amy up in there. So she did her comment, and do you see it right underneath? Okay, while I was
Yeah.
typing, it didn't show that. So I can also switch it to, that's what I just created. I just created that banner, Tim. Oh
Right.
my gosh, there's 11 comments. Oh, Neil said
I,
hi 30 times. That's so cool.
I
Oh,
also want to
I
say
love
that Neil, let's just go ahead and give a shout out to Neil. He has a new web presence.
it. Ooh,
And I looked at it only on my phone briefly, but Neil, it looked very good, nice and crisp, good leanness to it on my phone. Haven't looked on the computer. I know that that's something that we all want our websites to do, look good on all of them. But good job, Neil. I'm sure you did the website.
Hey, and if any of you get a chance, I believe Amy and Neil, you're both have clicked like on my Facebook page. If you guys have a minute, could somebody go look and check and see if I'm showing up on YouTube Live? This would be my second YouTube Live, or on my Facebook page, and see if there's a live dynamic over there. Maybe comment in there and put it in your comment, or I'm commenting from YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So you do repeat again, Meg, where all you can go live via StreamYard, because on Zoom, I do it just on Facebook. I think I could also do it on YouTube, but I don't right now. We're launching our YouTube channel October 1st. So I'm putting 20 of our episodes up, then I may start doing lives there. But tell me again what all you could do on StreamYard, so that as I'm subscribing here to Amy's graced health.
And Amy, I'll get to your question. See, what's different than the last time I did this, it's showing the names. Last time I did this, and Neil has been sweet and popped in on most of mine. Neil, I didn't see your name the last two interviews that I did. Now I can see that your name, and when I click on the comment with them, see, it puts Amy's comment right here, or Neil's comment. Oh, Neil said, "Thanks, Tim."
You're welcome, Neil. That's all right. So you're clicking on it, Meg, and when you click, it's showing up for the audience to see. I like that.
Yes, and Tim, there's another fantastic thing about StreamYard that I know you would love. And hey, there's 4 people watching. Great to see you guys. Thanks for popping in. There's a thing called brand. So I could, and this is what I was going to prep before I knew that I didn't know I was hosting today. So I had to do some other stuff, but I could actually add the Letters from Home banner behind. Right now, I just have a moving screen, but I could add the banner. You can add it as like where it says live. You can add a whole sticker, and you can also label it for the topic. So there's a lot of things you can do with StreamYard as you do it.
I actually tried when I came on to do a green screen, but since I technically don't have one, Zoom kind of does this weird, not really a green screen, which looks kind of ghosty. So, because one of the things I've been trying to do with the discussion about StreamYard is just up my video game, which for those that might be watching in, Neil knows this, if anyone else is there, I'm in an RV. This is the passenger seat of an RV. So behind me here is 39 feet of awesomeness. We call him Theo. And I've got got a few lights. They glare off my glasses. So I've been playing with them, and I've been trying to do some things with my backdrop, even though this doesn't look horrible right now. I don't think. I mean, if somebody thinks it does, comment if you think it looks horrible.
So you don't see the comments.
Not right? Here.
Yeah.
I don't see any. I don't think I see comments.
So
oh, wait. You know what? I just clicked from private chat over to comments. I see the comments now.
So
wow.
Neil said it's not showing up on YouTube. I'm supposed to be live in 3 places. So when I look at the top of my screen on the right, I see a picture of my Facebook group, a picture of my Facebook page, and then I see YouTube. I'm going to click on this. I hope it doesn't disappear us. It says I'm live on YouTube. And I guess Neil,
are you on your, do you have multiple pages on YouTube, or just one, just Letters from Home?
So if you go on YouTube, there's a place where there's videos listed, but then there's a button. Oh, wow. This is from Tim. Love.
I know. Neil said I'm eye candy. I went, I've never been called eye candy, but thank you, Neil. I guess that's a compliment.
That is definitely a comment worth celebrating on here. Okay. Amy, to answer your question earlier, I have done that. I guess I haven't tried doing it solo, but maybe that's a good idea to do a solo to talk about what I'm doing. It's such a learning experience, right? It's one step of technology at a time. Tim, why don't you tell everyone about the Seek, Go, Create podcast? It's a great podcast, and I've learned a lot from leadership from you, Tim. And it's But what are you currently working on? What are some things you're excited about?
Yeah. I just had I had an interview this morning with Jesse Lee Perez, who has written a book on it's color. It's really personality on color. I think it's True Colors is the name of it. And it'll probably not drop. The actual podcast won't drop until around December. We're kind of ahead right now, which is always a great feeling for those people that might be podcasters. And we are celebrating October 1st will be our 1-year anniversary. I think we'll be at 72 episodes at that time. And for anyone, I'm gonna hijack a little bit here and just go full promotion mode. For anyone who is a podcast listener, go to seekgocreate.com, pop in your email at the very top of our website, because we are going to be having a massive giveaway. We're going to be giving away t-shirts, mugs, all types of stuff the entire month of October. Going to be doing a lot of things where people are able to share and like and link and all types of things as we just celebrate the month of October. And we are launching a YouTube channel right around October 1st. We're taking our top 20 episodes that we have videoed, and we've done a little bit of edit, not a lot. We're popping those up on YouTube so that we can begin the YouTube channel with 20 videos there. And really, Meg, what we do is we say we redefine success in leadership, business, and ministry. I see it scrolling along the bottom. I'm glad it was there so that I could read it there. We're redefining success in leadership, business, and ministry. And I have a lot of fun just talking to folks. Podcasting is so cool, isn't it?
It is so cool. It's such a blessing and adventure. And hey, just a little comment from Neil. Wait, you're in an RV? I didn't know that, Tim Winders.
Yeah, Neil, don't. Yeah. We need to pay attention to Neil and love on Neil, but at times we don't need to pay attention to Neil. He's joking. He knows I'm in an RV. I think he's joking because every time I say it, I'm in an RV. I'm in an RV. I'm in an RV. Okay. So.
Oh, hey, now he got the YouTube to work. We're live on YouTube. And Tim, I'm so excited that you're going live on YouTube. And if there's any way, when that gets closer, just shoot me a message, and I definitely want to support you. It's so exciting to branch out, and it's a perfect climate right now, and especially over the summer, and with everyone trying new things, it's okay to just figure it out as we go. Sometimes it almost I mean, you are kind of perfect, Tim, so it just almost makes you more human if there's a little glitch or a mistake or something. I don't know, just saying.
Yeah, we have them. We definitely do. I mean, the mode of our podcast, I know this, Meg, is that we kind of flip on the mic and just have conversations, and we don't have a lot of edit. There's some, in fact, there was one today where in my new office here, I didn't have a space to put my notebook. I'm doing the intro and all of a sudden my notebook falls and there's this loud bang. And I just kind of go, oops, I think we need to start over. Which is not typically the way I would do. I'm saying, I am sorry, Jesse, but I need to start over. So for those of you editing, we need to do that. But anyway, so I'm digging StreamYard.
Yeah. I just noticed something. So if I do a really big comment like Amy's, or that one, was there another one that I did and I feel like it was covering our faces?
Maybe I'm sitting a little lower, but maybe I need to sit up straighter. My mother's always told me that. Sit up straight, boy, young man. And I'm 56 years old.
Wait, this was the one. Oh, no. Okay. Anyway, I thought, it's weird. So there is kind of a dynamic for figuring that out. And I know, Tim, there is some customizable, and Amy too, if you're thinking of this, customizable options for the colors actually for the banners that you're on. And in StreamYard, they do lives all the time, and they're such incredible. That's one thing I really like about StreamYard. I should totally be talking to Ross Brand over there. Like I'm totally, we're giving them some business, but they're great at helping people, and they have people ask those questions on there, and I find really good support.
That's good. That's good to know. And I think you've talked about, I think I drilled you on these questions. Neil, Neil's over here typing in comments. He says he's in an RV. Take a shot. Something
Yeah.
about a drinking game too. I don't know.
If you have pulled it
Um,
up, I pulled it up in our chat.
yeah. So, yeah, and he's saying,
I don't
what?
know if that's really Neil because I don't know, Tim. That's not. I mean, I'm pretty sure Neil's has a shoe attached. You know what I'm saying?
It says other people's shoes. Is it something different? You think we got somebody else chiming in?
Could be
Maybe
an.
not.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
Left.
we could ask some questions about a certain football team in North Carolina that if they were actually Neil, they would know what the first, second, third, and fourth ranked teams in the state of North Carolina are. But we'll see if they chime in on that. All right. So here's a question I've got. As far as recordings go, I might have asked you this. One of the things we do with our podcast is we record Zoom video. We also record audio, and Zoom has an option where it records, like if we're doing this right now, it records your audio, it records my audio. And then I also record my audio locally so that I've got just another extra track. That allows my engineer to, if for some reason I'm coming in a lot louder than you, or there's a little hiccup somewhere along the way, they've got multiple tracks that they could overlay and try to work with. Do you know if StreamYard does that or not, or do we know that?
I don't know that, but I see there's 5 people joining us here. Do any of you know the answer to Tim's question? We're learning as we go here. I'm pretty new at StreamYard, and I'm not sure if it has that additional option, but I know it's been very easy to use. And
So
I know
when you so here's a technical question for you then. So you interviewed Quan last week, which was a powerful interview. Remind me to tell you a question that the Holy Spirit led me to ask that I so enjoyed asking because I interviewed him like 2 days after you. Um, did you where did you record your podcast for that? Are you doing it on like a Rodecaster Pro? Are you doing it locally? Where do you get the audio for the actual podcast when you did StreamYard?
I just um
Pulled it from.
yeah, I mean, like I have my mic plugged in here and
Mhm.
my iRig, and then I just did it through StreamYard, and StreamYard has you test it, so you get in that like we did. There's a great little waiting room that you hop in. So
Right.
anyone else considering, you get this great little waiting room where you can sit and talk with one another and practice your mic and fiddle around or whatever. But um, yeah, and it just stores it in one place. So once you're happy with the
Okay.
volume, I don't know if that answers. I don't think
I guess a little bit. And that would probably be fine. I mean, because one of the things I think all of us might be just a little bit, not even, I don't know if anxious is the right word because we're believers. We're supposed to be anxious for nothing is, you don't want to do an incredible interview with Meg or Quan or anyone else. And then after it's over, we just loaded one of the worst quality interviews we've ever done. And I think you even heard a little bit of the Facebook Live. For some reason, the guest, there was a little bit of a reverb. We were both in RVs. He's actually a full-time RVer. We were able to clean it up, I think, enough for the audio with all the tracks we had. It was probably one of my lower quality that I wasn't super excited about, but the content was so good. I probably should have put a disclaimer or something, but so anyway, so that's kind of the reason I'm asking about that is just to kind of see what your thoughts were on that. Do you get the video also? So are you capturing this right now or good?
the
And so
video.
then you could use it.
Absolutely. And I would guess that you can separate the audio from the video. And I'm guessing there's probably some form. These are questions we could ask on this StreamYard page. But so Paula Chamberlain, I just put her comment up, but she said, Mark Asquith, I'm not sure I'm saying his name right, of Captivate uses StreamYard for his live Q&As. Good to know. And I have a question. So when I wrote, thanks, Paula, below, what I see is it shows me a comment. It shows me that I commented that in on my Facebook page and on my YouTube, but now it doesn't show that. Are any of you in my Facebook group right now? my Faith
Hold
Let
on.
Home podcast community.
I
Could someone
might could jump there.
they're watching it from there because that's okay. So somebody's watching on Letters from Home page, and see now it just says Facebook user. It's not showing me that person's name, but I think Amy and Paula and Neil are watching from the Facebook group. See, these are things that I was trying to figure out while I'm interviewing Quan,
Hmm.
my third one, and then you don't see the names and you just have to keep moving.
Right.
Um,
Well,
and
I saw your when I mean I'm looking on the StreamYard, I guess, as a guest of yours. I can see where it says Letters from Home podcast. Thanks, Paula. And it has the YouTube symbol with the comment. So I don't know if it leads with YouTube and then it just copies it to I guess, there is a lot going on here, isn't there?
yes, and so Neil's comments were coming in through the YouTube, Amy's through Facebook, but I don't know if it's through my group or my page. But then when I reply, shows me a double reply, but not a triple one. Oh, there's 10 people watching now, Tim. So I don't know. Do
Oh
you have
my
any
goodness.
tricks or um, uh, any other?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Let's actually say something. Well, I mean, I actually think some people might have interest in our topic, which was, if for those of you that are jumping on, I begged Meg to have a bit of a test, or let's just get on and talk and play with StreamYard. She actually did some things on StreamYard, and I said, let's play around with some of the features and let's just do it live and see what goes on. So I appreciate her for doing this. And so, because one of the things we're talking about is how we can multitask or do good quality for video, live streaming, recordings, and whatever else we may want to do. So I have a question for you, Meg, that might be cool to talk about. My I I am looking at my computer screen and I'm seeing comments when I do this. I'm seeing your face when I do this. I'm seeing the scroll and I'm looking at me when I do this. And then I'm looking at the camera this way. Now, there are some people that are absolute pros at this, that they are able to do this the entire time and make it look like they are looking directly into the eyes. I really am curious because if I'm talking to you face to face, I'm latched into your eyes and I'm looking into your eyes the whole time because I believe eye contact is super important. What does it do in this world? Because I could tell you're doing other stuff too. You're looking at comments and all, but it doesn't bother me as much. I don't feel as if you're disengaged because I also know you're doing some things that I'm doing. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have some thoughts? And I'd love to hear comments from people. It's like, Tim, if you don't look into my eyes, then you're not paying attention. So I'm always interested in that. What do you think, Meg?
I think that in the world now that we're all used to Zoom, I think it's almost weird when people actually do look at you if they're looking at you the whole time with those big baby blues. Right, guys?
Creepy maniacal stares.
I feel um, I'll try and glance up here and there, but I think for most of the Zooms, even when there's 15 to 20 people, people are looking off to the side a little bit, and that seems perfectly normal or multitasking. What do you think? Or comments, anyone on your
Well,
thoughts? Paying
and
attention?
it could be that, we're doing a lot of different things here. I've recently watched some of the videos from my Zoom calls that we're going to be putting up on YouTube, which that's saying a lot just in that sentence, obviously. And I'm looking at them and I am doing kind of like I'm doing right now most of the time. I'm kind of looking down because I'm reading notes, or like right now, I'm looking at you,
Hmm.
even though it doesn't show that, but that's kind of what the audience sees. So I do think it might be weird if like I'm doing this or
Mm.
this, some people's computers and all. So Amy just gave some feedback, which is very helpful.
See it? Um, oh, and the
Can
other
you see it?
say, Tim, I guess when I try one thing, and I'm gonna call Eric out a little bit. Eric Nevins, just only because like no, he like when he was first doing him, he's like looking down when it starts, and I always try and at least look at the beginning when it first opens, like, hey, this is Meg, start with this smile because it gets frozen on that, or and nobody wants to
Yeah,
get frozen like that, right? Okay,
right.
okay, Amy. Personally, I like it when people look in the camera, not in a creepy way though. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else, and it just says Facebook user. So, oh wow, somebody brushes their teeth. Agree. It's more accessible because we know how the camera works. Uh,
Huh.
great.
It
That,
says occasion, so that's helpful. Occasional direct contact, which kind of allows for the glancing, the movement that I'm naturally doing in a way where I'm trying to manage things like you're doing right now. You're managing quite a bit while you're hosting. We're bantering a little bit, but and you're also watching the post, which I'm doing. I'm seeing the scroll. And so it's good to be able to do that. And I guess one of the things I would love to get in the habit of now that we're doing YouTube is to include this little dot up above my computer every once in a while, just to kind of look into that, say hello. I see you, Amy. Thank you for the comment. And then I can go back down and look at Meg, look at the comments, and that's
yeah,
good.
thank you. I think it's helpful when the speaker looks into the camera, but if you're listening, you don't need to. Yeah, because you don't want to be disengaged the whole time. And I guess I didn't know if I was. Did it ever look like I was turning my head as far as you did that one time, Tim? I thought, ooh,
No, I was exaggerating. You're actually with a slight angle. I'm guessing your computer screen
oh,
is sort of straight on to you, or
it's pretty. I think this would be straight. And yeah, the space where you put your chair and your desk is a little off to the
yeah.
side.
And you're kind of like me. You don't really want to cover yourself up with the mic. I actually kind of keep mine just off camera,
Yeah, this is
but
when I'm
I brought it.
trying to figure. So Neil does this really well. If you're on Neil, when he interviewed me, he was
Mhm.
like this, and then when he asked me a really deep question, he kind of turned, and he was like he was part one with the microphone, but he kind of glanced out the side, and I was like, is he staring into my soul? Which Neil kind of does that, it's
He was leaning in for drama. It was a dramatic effect. I'm pretty confident that Neil was using that for dramatic effect.
really likes to get into other people's shoes, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, no, he didn't like the fact that I only wore flip flops, which I'm wearing right now, by the way. He said flip flops is not acceptable for other people's shoes, which I think that could be discriminatory. I didn't report him. But I considered it.
yeah. Well, Tim, um how much time are we wanting to spend here? Do we want to wind it up?
Well, anything else? All right. So we've got down at the bottom, we've got all the standard stuff. Stop my camera. I could mute. I could do things if I needed to. I could actually share a screen, which is neat. So if we're doing presentation type things, that would be awesome. I could leave. What happens? I mean, like, what would it look like if we had 4 people on here? Do you know? Have you done like group things?
With biblical chili. And if you look, and that was a really fun conversation. They have quite an interesting group at Biblical Chili. One guy in their group had just given his life to the Lord like this year. And so we were
Wow.
kind of like asking some totally random different questions, which mixed it up. But that's their styles to have a round table. So you could see 4 Brady Bunch screens at the same time, and it was great. And one of their people was managing the banners, one was managing the comments,
Mm.
and that sort of a thing. Um, so it made it a little bit easier. And Tim, another thing you can do is what happened with one of the interviews that I did, and he shared it on his page just before it started, and somebody else shared it, and the views went up exponentially. Like
Mm.
I think we got like 600 views in 2 days, and I didn't do any promoting or anything. And with Juan, I don't know what happened in the algorithms, but I think 1 or 2 people were watching, and it barely went up at all within 24 hours. So anyway, that's a whole thing too, is figuring out. So when we figure out those tricks, or if any of you out there know of some tricks and tips, feel free to drop them in the comments or message Tim or me. We would love to learn from what
Yeah.
you're doing.
I did learn something. It's very interesting. I had two interviews. I'm trying to think of what week it was. It was a few weeks back. And I don't know if I shared this with you, Meg, but it was fascinating to me. I had an interview scheduled with Mark Victor Hansen. Mark
Mm,
Victor Hansen is a co-author for Chicken Soup to the Soul. He sold over 500 million books, which I'm going, wow, probably would be one of the highest profile guests that I've had. Well, that was on a Thursday of this week, Meg. And on Tuesday of that week, I had an interview with a guy by the name of Rashawn Copeland. And our buddy Neil knows Rashawn. He's the guy that he's an online pastor. That's what he calls himself. And his goal is to make love go viral. And Rashawn has, I hope I've got these numbers right, but around 20 million followers on various channels on social medias. So this will kind of highlight the point that you're making. Rashawn gets on Tuesday and I say, hey, Rashawn, we do Facebook Lives when we do our behind the scenes, interview. He goes, oh, cool. You mind if I share it? I said, absolutely not. Go ahead. So we're doing like you and I are doing right here. I'm interviewing, it's an hour and 15 minutes for a long form interview. And I'm finishing up my stuff and, we say our goodbyes and I jump off. I jump over to Facebook and we've had over 18,000 views of
wow.
this video, one share onto his page and 18,000 views, which by the time the next few days, like within 48 hours, we were at 25,000. I don't know what it's at now. So I'm going, wow, that's cool. All right. So we've got the online pastor. 2 days later, I interview Mark Victor Hansen. Phenomenal interview. Great guy. Like I mentioned, massive numbers of books sold. And we had 22 people watch that Facebook Live. So, part of it is I'm not sure that we can know,
Mm-hmm.
but it also helps just to get somebody that's already got a following to share that. And maybe there's some ways within some of our podcast communities that we could do that more intentionally and
Yeah.
help each other out, because I know all of us are probably grinding out, getting follows and all on our social media pages. Now, that didn't come across well. We're working at it. We're sowing the seeds. It sometimes can seem like we're grinding it out. And so I'm always amazed by when someone just shares and it just goes nuts. And so anyway, I don't think we could figure out these algorithms. I'm kind of,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? And Moni, while we're on here in the last 5 minutes,
uh-huh.
started a watch party. Thanks, Moni.
Oh, well, very good. Hey, then
Help us.
I want to share something really cool then. You talked to Quan. Tell me what is one of your big takeaways from talking to Quan. The podcast hasn't released yet, has it?
No, I just did a live on his. I'd not done a
Oh,
podcast episode.
oh, okay. So you just did a Facebook Live. All right. I did both, but tell me your big takeaways, and then I want to tell you mine, and we'll compare some notes, and we'll promote Quan a little bit. He just had a great book come out.
He had a great book come out. I could not get over his humble demeanor, and I asked him about his father's relationship with his father, what it was like for him in jail, like
Mm,
set up the actual environment and the layout. So, we always see the Hollywood version of jail. Somebody's in a cell by themselves. He said it's like a lunchroom in a high school where you've got the Vietnamese gangs here. You've got, so it's all kind of spread out like that. So that to me was really something I hadn't considered. So we talked about the context of that, and I had the sweetest time with him after we hung up. And I asked him to give me. I was astounded by the way he's marketing. He's not doing it for money. He just wants to help his fellows in prison, his brothers in prison. And so after we hung up, I said, Quan, give me 10 names of your buddies. And we had a prayer time. We had a prayer time for his buddies in prison, and we talked. I said, where is your mother at now? How is your mother? How is your brother dealing with this? And we prayed for his family. His mother, in the last year and a half, they had a house fire. His mother caught on fire, and her side and her back was completely burned. And through COVID, she hasn't been able to take pain meds or do and more surgery. So just hearing his heart and seeing his humble demeanor, that stayed with me so much, Tim. And I feel honored that I got to experience and to love someone. And the thing that I hope my so if you guys get a chance to go listen to Tim's and go watch mine and Tim's video, but what I hope you get from that, because so many of us can be jaundiced. Ooh, somebody's in prison or they came out of prison. Keep them away from me. And he's just this guy who did something bad 20 years ago, and he wants a chance and he just wants his friends to have a chance. So I hope we can look at one another in our sin and problem and not view ourselves as different.
Yeah, that's good. And in fact, I don't know if you can include it in the comments, but if you could put the Facebook or anyway, I went to go to his website because I was going to pop it in, but I actually can't see where I could put something in the comments on StreamYard here. So I don't know how I would do that. Maybe I'm missing something, but for those listening in, Quan, he spent 22 years in prison in California for murdering someone. And he does not shy away from the fact that he pointed a gun at someone and shot and killed with intent to kill. And he was released in 2015. And it's interesting, Meg, there are two things that were kind of interesting questions for me. We had a great conversation too. And I agree with you, the humility and just the things that he has learned in prison. And I think to some degree, a lot of people spend time in prison, whether it's behind bars or not, is, you know, whether or not they admit it or not. But, and I know your time's getting short, mine is too here. So, but I usually start my podcast after I do the intro with what's your elevator pitch. But, you know, it kind of seemed weird with him. So I pulled a comment right off his website, which he basically said, I was called a murderer. And I just started off the podcast. I said, Quan, on your website, it says you were called a murderer. I said, I usually ask people what we do, but do you identify with being a murderer? And so it just really opened up a phenomenal conversation. And then we went on and we talked about prison and how we came to be. And I think we had some good father conversations too, because I think like you, I believe that our relationship with our earthly father many times has a huge impact on how we view our heavenly father. But at some point, and I know you have this too, the Holy Spirit just took over. I didn't have this written down. I would have never premeditated this question. But I said, Quan, we are followers of Christ. And as followers of Christ, one of our basic foundational principles is the forgiveness of sin. Mm. In our society, murder is considered one of, if anything, a big sin. We're not going to rank sin. I said, but do you believe that you are forgiven of that sin? And it was just like we paused and we just kind of, I almost teared up a little bit, and I'm not a tear up type guy, Meg. I'm just not. And you know what? He paused and he says, yes, I believe that I am forgiven of that sin. And you know what, Meg? That was like one of my all time, you know,
praise the Lord.
60 seconds of it, because you know why? There are people right now listening that they said something to someone that they wish they hadn't said, and they have a hard time believing that the Lord can forgive them for saying that. There are people right now that have, I'll use a strong one that's in our society. There are women that may have made the decision to abort a child at some point in their lives, and they have had a hard time forgiving themselves of that. And listen, we went through financial things that I don't know, we can't rank any of this stuff, but I dealt with a lot of shame and guilt because of that. I am forgiven of all of that. And that is the foundation of our faith, is forgiveness of those sins.
Absolutely. It changes us, right? Just the forgiveness. And actually, when you see the things that you have been forgiven for, and you see that murder, because we tend to put a murder or pedophile or somebody in some crazy insane, like, oh, they're awful, or somebody who is on their phone while driving, and or drunk. And I would never, well, you if we didn't have the grace of God and that smooth forgiveness, like go that way. And when we see that, who we are before God, and that He loves us, and we're made in His image, yeah, it changes so much, right?
Yeah. So very cool. Well, we got to preaching here. Look, we got a hallelujah going here. Hey, Meg, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. First of all, you do so much for so many of the communities that are out here doing podcasting. And I just want to thank you personally for taking the time. We've all got stuff going on to just let me check, like I said, under the hood of StreamYard. You've bought it. I haven't yet. I was like, wait until Meg let me test drive. Thanks for letting me get the keys here a little bit and test drive. So, but I'm pretty impressed.
I like it a lot. I think it's super handy. And I think, and thank you everyone for your encouragement, and thanks for participating. And yeah, if you have any more comments or wisdom here, that'd be great. And if you haven't got a chance to go check out Tim's podcast, Seek, Go, Create, I especially liked the one where it talked about leading yourself. And if we really focus on ourselves and let God do that work in us, it's amazing how much better of leaders we can be. But Tim, I'm grateful that we get to share this podcasting journey together. You're a blessing. And I get to interview your wife soon. So
you're going to be glorified. You know, you.
Let me just check
Yeah.
one more comment. Someone said, thanks for the test drive, and amen. Jesus sets us free. Hallelujah. Thanks, everyone. God bless you all. This is Meg Gleesner from Letters from Home podcast, and Tim
Winders from Seek, Go, Create.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Meg. Bye.